Nick here, Various Customs. Today we're having another look at one of our moulds, which we're going to form on our vacuum form machine. Today we've got something a little bit different. This is a old school sort of like 40s era bus, little short 12-seater I believe they normally are. On this one we've actually not put any real rear wheel arches in it, so then it's going to suit a variety of wheelbase cars, not just your normal 98mm or 102mm. Just sort of accept anything. Something a little bit different, a little bit more rounded. Got the headlights there, nice rounded guards on this. Sort of had to be a little bit careful in spots of this to make sure it wasn't too, like especially through here, that it wasn't too much of a pocket that it was going to get stuck or web over itself. But we've done a couple of tests on this, it's come up fine. Once again, PLA mould, 6mm top layers, walls are 3mm thick, infill's about 60% on this as well, I believe. On this one we've done a couple of little holes in the corners just to allow it to suck down on this plate. Got a bumper, you sort of got a trial and error with these. It's got a little bit of a grill there. It's deep enough that it doesn't get stuck when it's forming. So it's really trial and error on a lot of these molds on what's going to work and what's not going to work. You can I normally 1.6mm deep is what I normally go with, because then once you've got a sort of 1/2mm sheet, you sort of 1.2mm deep. It's normally, you can get away with it. You can sort of flex the plastic out away from the mold and release it pretty easy. So let's get a sheet of plastic in and give this one a quick mold. So once again, 1/2mm PETG. This is actually cut to size from the vacuum form itself. So there's no mucking around cutting down your sheets. You can just buy a big packet of these and it's all cut to length. Peel the protective cutting off and load it into the machine, as simple as that. So let's get this up to temp and we'll go from there. Just get the mould put in just about up to temp. Like in the last video, we don't put it into the last second to avoid any sort of disformation from the plastic. Out, give it a quick trim up and show you what we've got. Alright, so we've probably pulled this one out of the mold a little bit early. As you can see, we've got a little bit of issues around the mold. Obviously in there I knew it was going to be an issue, but I think we've just pulled it out a little bit too early while it's still warm and it will sort of disform this. So we'll put another sheet in and give it another crack, because the first one we pulled off actually came out quite nice, but I think I was just a bit too eager to get it released out of the mold. So let's load another one up. Back up to temp again, load this up again. Pull this out and give this a few seconds to cool down before we try to release it this time. This one's come out much better. We sort of allowed a little bit more time to cool down without sort of trying to pull it out. Each mold is going to have a sort of own unique sort of way to pull it, whether it's coming from the back or you pull it from the front, or you've got to part the sides out. It's sort of each one you've got to have to sort of learn your own technique and find out what works, what doesn't. Pretty happy with how this has come out. Obviously we've still got to do a little bit more smoothing on this mold. These are just sort of pre-production, just to make sure everything's going to work before we get too carried away with smoothing. So these once again are available in our store. If you guys have got a Mini Z or whatever you've got that's 24 scale, WL Toys K89 or the Drift or the Rally version, whichever, these are available, and there will be a link in the description below. There will also be a few more pictures of these painted up so you can get an idea of what they look like. And if you're interested in picking out one of these machines, link in the description below as well for these. Great machines. Yes, they're not cheap, but they are a tool, not a toy. So end of the day, you'll get your money's back. It may not be overnight, but you will make your money back if you invest in making your own molds and taking your time to sort of get everything right and find the right market. And once you've got your marketing down, this is not just bodies. You can do chocolate mold. There's all sorts of things. You're seeing a lot of cosplay guys making masks, so it's endless what this machine can do once you get the hang of it. It's pretty simple. So until the next video, have a good one.